17. I don't want nobody else, and I can't keep it to myself. Girl, you know you got me dreaming. We could be driving fast with your feet on the dash. You riding by my side, leaving all our fears in the past. And anywhere you wanna see what we could be on the map. It's only you and me, nothing to prove for me, yeah. All my life I knew she's my baby. I can't hide it, making me crazy. Sometimes I close my eyes and dream about when we met in high school. And I've been trying to tell her this lately. She's more fire than rock in the 80s. I think about her when I sleep, like back when we were 17. Back when we were 17. Back when we were 17.
Guess that's what I get for leaning into the best friend. Now I've got one more accent, two less hands here for holding. Ignored all of my reasons for running far from my feelings. Now I'm down on my knees and watching you as you're leaving. I hear you say goodbye, and I say I'm fine. But if I'm honest with myself, I'm a mess. Total fake, thinking I might need some help. 'Cause I never change, always getting in my own way. Oh, look at this mess I've made. Look at this mess I've made. Oh, I'll take the blame for making you hate my name. Oh, look at this mess I've made. Look at this mess I've made. Oh, oh, look at this mess I've made. Look at this mess I've made. Oh. But I've learned my lesson that love does not equal tension. Turns out I'm still the same kid, falling hard for affection. And it hurts so bad when it's over, when we both wake up and we're sober. But got that first little moment, feeling you leaning closer. Hear you say goodbye.
And we're good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What is up and what's going on? And happy, wait for it, Hump Day! My favorite day of the week. How are we doing on this beautiful Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome back. It is Wednesday, aka Hump Day. November 16th, right at 9:03. We got 27 minutes to go to get you prepared for today's trading session to talk about what we have going on, where the best opportunity is, and how we're looking to attack this market to lock in some big time profits. So before we get going, Alpha family, ADT Nation, hit me with a big old Alpha Day Trading Good morning. And if you guys are over on YouTube right now at this point in time, hit me with a good morning and drop your location as well. Where are you guys tuning in from? Is this your first stream as well? We want to know if this is your first time here to the stream. We want to thank you for being here and welcome you and give you some context around what to expect for today and every day that we go live here on YouTube. Hack, what's up, buddy? Good morning, Mad, Mike, Catherine, Jay, Stir, Rodney, Joey, Steve, Alan, Angela, Mr. G. Ladies and gentlemen, inside of chat, what is happening? Again, good morning, and I hope you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. And again, hopefully you guys had a good night too. How was your Tuesday nights? How was your day in the market yesterday? Hopefully it was profitable. If you guys sat on the sidelines, it's okay. The market was a bit challenging in the morning, and then it started to really like open up and move a little bit into the afternoon. So if you guys were out of the market around 11 or 12, I get it. It was a challenging day, but today I expect some nice movement. Looking at the SPY, looking at the Qs, I still have a great trade plan and thesis on XOM. We'll rediscuss that today. AMD to the short side, Amazon to the short side. I see a lot of good opportunity in this market, guys. All right, so we're going to dive into it. We'll be thorough, but I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. SPY, Qs, always. I'm very short biased today. So you guys know I'm like 80% short biased. I'm never biased, but I see a lot of reasons to get short today if we start validating. And if we start seeing that short opportunity present itself on the SPY and the Qs, guess what? We'll see the short opportunity on AMD. We'll see the short opportunity on Amazon. We may see it on XOM, right? So again, I'm definitely leaning more towards the short side at this point in time, but any point in time the market transition and we see a shift, we need to adapt with the market, remove that bias, and just trade with the market today, guys. All right, so YouTubers, what's going on? Good morning. Who we got? We got Kay, Oliver, Billy, Zach, what's up, bro? Invest Outdoors, Joey. Oh, that's top chat. I can't even see everything. There we go. There's everybody inside of the chat. All right, guys. Again, hit me with a good morning. Where are you guys tuning in from? Orlando? I love it. Washington, Houston, New York, snowy Minnesota. I am sorry that you're in Minnesota and it's snowing right now. It's pretty bad down here in Florida too. What? It's like maybe like 85 degrees. K. Oliver, right? In Orlando, Tampa's like 85, which is kind of brutal. It's getting down in the 60s overnight, so we're struggling too. You're like, dude, stop. Just stop. But again, good morning, everybody. We're going to start getting you guys prepared for today's trading session and talk about where the best opportunity is. So we actually don't have a lot with pennies today, guys. Look at your top gainer. Well, your top gainer before we actually went live at 9 was 17%. EXN trading 3,000 shares. SPRB up 17%, trading 43,000 shares. SRAD up 16%, trading 17,000 shares. Like, guys, there is no action with small caps. There is really no action, no consistent opportunity. It's been challenging. I'm going to say this once more today, and I'll probably say it again tomorrow and Friday, next week, and next month until you guys all fully transition. I think it's very beneficial to you and your trading career at this point in time, all right, to learn options, to make a transition. If you have a $100,000 account and you can go for it, trade the SPY, trade the Qs, trade Tesla, Apple. I think it's time for you guys to learn your transition from small caps to large caps. If you don't have $1 million account to trade thousands of shares on, say, Tesla, then again, learn to trade options. I think that's going to be extremely beneficial to you. One of the biggest things that I regret this year is not making the transition sooner. Beating a dead horse, expecting different results. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It took me until November to realize enough's enough. I need to make that transition, wondering why everybody else that traded small caps made that transition as well. Right? It took me 11 months. It doesn't need to take you that long. If you guys are new, if you guys are just joining, again, make the transition. It's extremely beneficial to you, right? We got to be quicker to adapt, to adjust when we see the conditions change. So get into that video lessons library. Watch every lesson that has to do with options, right? Get a good foundation built. And today we're actually discussing options, right? So supply and demand for H. We are also going to be discussing options for H as well. Maybe we talk about futures, open floor, questions that pertain to options and supply and demand. Have those questions written down and be ready to go at 11 o'clock. But let's go ahead and get you guys prepared for today's trading session because, again, we're here to do what? We're here to make money as well. Not just get educated, even though that's the most important, but we're here to make some cheddar. So let's make it happen. All right. So first things first, I want to talk about the SPY. And the reason why I'm leaning a little bit to the short side at this point in time on the SPY are for a few separate reasons. You got a 4-hour manipulation supply zone, right? And we're going to talk about this today, but vaguely, you have your massive rip on up. You're consolidating. I marked up the entire consolidation range from low to high. We could probably really narrow that on down, right, and make it a little bit thinner. But I'm just going to take the entire range of that consolidation before we broke out and then came right back inside of the zone. So we can see a little bit of that early on manipulation. Now we just need to break structure, which is going to be 393 for the leg down. And then if we ever re-enter that zone later on, we know that's a great area to get short. But that's thinking, you know, like end of the week, next week. But what I'm seeing is, again, that consolidation, the breakout, and then the fall back into that zone. You could say that's manipulation, a false breakout, whatever. We're not going to dive that much into it right now, okay? That's going to be around 11 o'clock. But what I'm seeing is, again, a possible left shoulder, head, that manipulation, right shoulder, and a crack of this trend line. After we tried to break 400, we couldn't. Back below 400. A retest of 400 as resistance with a crack of this uptrend. And you can kind of see a little bit of that left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So there's a lot of things going for the SPY, right? That supply zone, the manipulation, back into the zone, a crack of the trend line, a slight head and shoulders formation, a crack and retest of 400. There's a lot of things going for the SPY right now that indicate a good short opportunity today. So really what I'm looking for here is to see this start cracking that trend line. 0.1, 0.2, this was invalidated. It voided the trend line, but you do have a validated 0.3 right here. So we can see this is still being respected at this point in time. So any point in time, we really start to roll on over and we get a little bit more validation here intraday on our lower time frames for the short. I definitely want to start getting short here on the SPY, as I do expect to see this come back down towards around 390.42. All right. So as long as we're not back above $400, I see potential down to 390.42. So even if you just look at the SPY right now and say, I'm short right now, your risk to reward still is great. Stops over 400, target at 390. You can still see your risk to reward is fantastic. You got a 2-to-1, potentially 3-to-1 opportunity if you were to get in right now. And I still think it's a little too early. I think we get a much better entry, obviously, when the market opens on up and we see further development. But for those reasons, I am leaning to the short side right now at this point in time, guys. Okay, so out of the gate, as far as like we're taking it long right in the first minute of the day, I don't see anything as far as like a quick entry right at the start of the day. I do believe we sit back for about 10 to 15 minutes and really let it develop and just validate a really good, solid trade. That's it. Sit back, relax, really wait for this to develop. And once it says, trade me, we're going to trade it, right? We're all over it, guys. Let me remove that as well. All right. So with that being said, really all I'm looking for today is, are we going to start cracking that trend line? Do we see anything else intraday once we open that suggests bearishness? And if so, I'm definitely looking to get short for a day trade that I plan on holding for a short-term swing trade as well, down to the 390s, all right, with stops right above 400, trading 30 to 45-day out put contracts once we see that take place, if it takes place. If not, we'll adapt with the market, we'll adjust, and we'll trade with the market and the opportunity it's providing us, right? But I'm definitely leaning to the short side. And if that takes place, I do believe we have a great short opportunity on AMD, and I think we have a great short opportunity on Amazon. These could be great day trades that turn into great swing trades as well. So AMD, Amazon, the SPY and the Qs, right? These day trades that turn potential swing trades, I'm trading 30 to 45 days out, just in case I do want to hold it into a swing trade. I'm already thinking 30 to 45 days out. If I start scaling out, fantastic. If I want to hold it into a day trade or a swing trade, I can. And I've bought myself time initially, right, by going 30 to 45 days out. So with AMD, we're just looking to make sure this thing stays below that daily downtrend. Look at that rejection yesterday off that daily downtrend, right? Downtrend, downtrend, grinding that downtrend, dumping. Yesterday, what did we see here on AMD? Straight up to the downtrend and then a massive rejection. I really think we have a great short-term swing trade here on AMD, guys. All right, so if we can start to crack, I mean, we're already starting to kind of crack that level the way it is, below yesterday's low. And then, Monday's open, that is a good short area. So can we open? Can we bounce back up to the 75.33 and see it hold as resistance? If we see that, I want to get short AMD on down towards around, I would say, Monday's low of day of 72.69, and then down towards around 71.58. So I really like it. So once again, assuming the overall market looks weak, and again, it's looking bearish, and we're still leaning to the short side, AMD opens on up, weak bounce, weak move back into that level of resistance, and if we see a lot of selling pressure here, right, I definitely want to get short for that drop on down. And we have a great target of 72.69 and then 71.58. That's how I would trade AMD right now, as we're already starting to fall below that prior level of support that we now want to see turn into resistance. Now, if you took the trade yesterday, you're on fire. If you noticed AMD and you saw it at that downturn yesterday, you're freaking crushing it, right? You're way ahead of the curve. But I still think there's opportunity here. I don't think we're chasing it. I don't think we're too late. Obviously, that's a much better entry for sure. But this still looks to be a great entry as well, depending on how it reacts, how we open, what the price action looks like, etc. I still think there's great opportunity for some great profits, 3-4 points to the downside. So we're going to be watching AMD today. And then obviously we need to see the overall market looking weak and really confirming our short thesis, right, to the downside today. So that's AMD. I like it, and I'm going to be keeping this one on high watch today, team. All right. Amazon. I really like Amazon as well. Excuse me. Allergies are still crazy. I don't get it. Amazon. This is a really simple one. The overall market has to sell off. The overall market needs to pull back like we're anticipating. Okay. Amazon below 96. I want to adjust this a little bit, make it, it is actually 96.66. That's a terrible number. So we're going to bring it down here. 96.63, right? If Amazon can crack below and stay below 96.63, we want to short it for the daily gap fill, right? So we could pretty much look for the same thing that we're looking for here on, AMD, right? If we open on up and we crack below that 96.33, come back up for a retest, and we can't get back above it, that's where we're getting short. And then that could be a great day trade, but who knows? Maybe it's a little bit of a swing trade into that gap fill level after we start cracking below that 96.33. Could this bounce today on back up and then start to roll over in the coming days? Yes, it could. Right? It could. It may not happen today, but if it does happen today, we're on top of it. We want to get in at a crack and retest, ideally at 96.33. You want to be short below 96.33. If that happens today, we're on it. Tomorrow, Friday, it's still going to be on watch, because eventually I do believe Amazon will set up and start to fill that gap. And if you're wondering how profitable you can be on a gap fill, I mean, does everybody remember the Netflix trade we took? Absolutely amazing, right? Getting great entries. We called it. We saw it looking fantastic into that daily gap fill level. That's what we're looking for here on Amazon, right? Looking for a short entry into this gap fill level. Then what are we looking to do? We're looking for it to give us some kind of market structure, support, good price action. Netflix, NFLX, right? What did Netflix do? Right? Comes on down, good price action, builds market structure, forms a W. Again, beautiful reason to get long in the gap fill level. So we were short for the daily gap fill, covering our position, waiting to make sure that this was going to hold that gap fill level and then get long. Boom. Short, flip long. That's exactly what we're looking to do here on Amazon. We're looking to get that short entry when the short presents itself. And then assuming we come into that daily gap fill level, we have good structure, good price action, a good formation, we could definitely think about flipping long at that point in time for the next leg on up. And that's how we're looking to play Amazon today, the rest of this week, into next week. It's definitely something to keep on high watch, guys. All right, so Amazon's definitely another one that I really like for today. And then lastly, XOM, right? I still think XOM's a good short. You do start to see the RSI kind of tapering on off a little bit. Slight divergence, not the best divergence here, but you see that slight taper with the RSI as it's forming a lot of resistance here. I'm at that 114.50. So I just see a lot of topping price action, right? It's having a really hard time to break. It's really just topping on out. And if this is indeed topping price action and we see this reversal, the trade's below 112.50. So we're looking to get shorts below this 112.50 for that gap fill down to 110.60. So about 2 points to the downside. Same thing. If we come down into this daily gap fill level and we start to consolidate, good price action, right? We put in market structure, whatever the case is at that point in time, we could also look for a gap fill bounce, a gap fill reversal here on XOM, just like we saw with Netflix, just like we're looking for here on Amazon as well. So I am still watching XOM today for the crack below 112.50 for the short on down the 110.60, okay? And that's really what I have on watch today, guys. I don't have any penny stock right now at this point in time on watch. Why is that? The market's ice cold. It is 80% unpredictable, 80% inconsistent, 80% just choppy. Like every now and then you see some decent movers, right? DWAC got some action. You saw like XELA and then a couple other stocks, AMC with action, but it's so far and few. It's so hit or miss. The consistency, the opportunity, the money, in my opinion, guys, is with options trading these larger cap plays. But we're still here to dissect these small cap stocks. Because if you are still finding an edge in the market and it's working for you, let's say you've learned how to trade this crappy market and it works for you, keep going with it. But if you're like me and this crappy market just doesn't work for you, transition. But if this crappy market works for you because you've learned to master the market when it's crappy, I can only imagine the damage you're going to do when it's hot. Like I'm really rooting for you here, but stick with it. Don't start to transition. Don't do anything else. If you're making consistent profits with small caps, don't transition. I'm not. I'm transitioning. A lot of other people are not. They're transitioning. If you've learned this market, stick with it. All right. So which penny stocks are you looking at today that you need some extra help with? Anything that you see that you're like, I like it, but I'm still a little unsure. I need a second set of eyes. Go ahead and type that up inside a chat. I'm more than happy to take a look at it for you. While you do that, FRSX, let's just get an idea of what's going on here. Shares are trading higher after the company announced it signed a commercial agreement with the Sunway AI for up to $51 million. Nice. So cool. We'll go ahead and type that up here. We got some news on FRSX. AJ's looking at NRBO. May I ask why you're looking at NRBO? Are you watching this one maybe because you're holding it when you shouldn't be, or are you just looking at for maybe a dead cat bounce? Is there a specific reason why you're looking at a stock that just dumped from $10 all the way down towards around $1.10? Possible short squeeze. Okay, I like it. Let's go look at the short interest here on NRBO. NRBO. Obviously, I mean, you're oversold on the RSI. You just massively dumped. You could see a dead cat bounce, 100%. Short interest here it's only 4%. So NRBO, it's only 4% at this point in time. So as far as a short squeeze, the best short squeezes occur when the short interest is between 20 and 30%. So are we seeing short interest elsewhere that indicates it's higher? Because I'm not seeing high short interest here on NRBO. I see it at 4%. Gamble, GMBL, it's on watch today. No, it's not. GRAB is. So the one thing I do want to point out with small cap land, penny stock land, right, is GRAB. It's such a large float. It's like $1 billion in float, but you see it making like daily moves, right? It's moved before, right? So you're only looking for 50 cents out of this. So if GRAB were to ever break pre-market highs, you can take it long to $4. Yes, it's a very large float stock, but the stock has moved 40 cents before in a very short period of time, right? If you break that pre-market high, you can move 30 cents in a very short period of time. GRAB, keep that one on watch over those pre-market highs. Yeah, so what you want to be doing is looking at the short interest report we throw up every single morning inside a chat, right? So if you look at the short interest report, that's going to show you the short interest from high to low, okay? And then one thing that you can do as well is if you have like a Seeking Alpha account, which I have a Seeking Alpha account, and this is updated very closely to real time because it's a premium account compared to like Yahoo Finance, is go type in NRBO, scroll down, and you'll actually see that the short interest here is 4.5%. And we would look at our list here from Ortex, right? We have Ortex data, is NRBO on this list. And this goes all the way down to that 30% threshold. Well, we don't see NRBO here on the list. So it's definitely not the right type of criteria, I guess, being met for that to be a killer short squeeze opportunity. For example, what was a killer short squeeze opportunity from yesterday? It was CABA, right? Like, it didn't really explode the way we wanted it to, but it meets their criteria to be a killer swing trade. This is a trade we took yesterday. I closed it around 350 for a couple $100. This was a day trade that can turn into a nice swing trade for that short squeeze based on its short interest, the price action that we've been seeing, the charts, etc. So, if you're looking for like a short squeeze, CABA is still on high watch for a short squeeze. Absolutely. And very quickly, I want to talk about our swing trades, right? I want to talk about those swing trades, okay? So I still think SUNL is a great swing trade over 170, right? Moving average squeeze, daily gap fill, right? So I got a nice moving average squeeze formation and a daily gap fill up to 240. So I'm really watching SUNL for a swing trade over the next few days up to that 240 level here on SUNL, guys. So that's still on high watch. That was posted up yesterday in levels. Go check it out. Yeah, I think that one has great potential. Mid-candle breakout must be a red candle in the middle or a green. It could be a little bit of both. Red candles are higher probability. Mid candles are higher probability. Red candles for the mid candle are higher probability. Green are okay. So there is potential there for sure. I want to make sure you're not missing anything. CABA is still on high watch for the short squeeze swing trade that we took yesterday. I personally closed out. It still looks good. SUNL is on high watch today for the moving average squeeze break and for that daily gap fill as well, up to 240. Great swing trade there. XELA was a swing trade idea from yesterday. It really just depends what we do today. It's way on the back burner. I'm still watching it because it could set up today, but there's no like high alert, high watch. It's just kind of observe it a little bit and see if there's anything there. Nothing yet with AMC. Nothing with comp. COMP looks like to be a mid-candle breakout, but it's not the best. APPS, nothing there. DWAC already reacted based on Trump's announcement there that he's running for 2024 presidency. So, I mean, with DWAC and PHUN, again, there's just not, it's already been priced in. The move's there. I don't really see a massive reaction today with those stocks. So again, you just got to be really smart and play it safe with these small cap stocks, guys. You really have to. All right. We know we just talked about SUNL has great potential. GRAB it's selling off, right? I'm not a fan of it because it's really getting smacked here at the start. Back burner the stock, back burner it. And if it ever breaks 370, maybe we have something. We'll keep it on watch. TBLT, what happened here? And this is, didn't we just say this yesterday? The one thing you have to account for if you're swing trading a penny stock is offerings. We said that yesterday. Like, you just have to account for a possible offering because these stocks like to drop offerings, right? Penny stocks, they get action, they drop offerings. It's very common. You have to account for that. Would you be okay with waking up and seeing the stock down at $2? Right? What did we just see here on TBLT? An offering. So it's really, really important. That was a prime example of how we have to really account for these things and be okay if that were to happen. That's just a part of assessing your risk as a trader. All right. 10-second warning. We are all set, ready to rock and roll. Small caps today. I'm sitting back the first 10, 15 minutes, looking at our scanners, looking to see where the best opportunity is. 70 to 80% of my focus is going to be with the SPY, the Qs, AMD, Amazon, a lot of these plays and a lot of these opportunities that we just discussed. All right, small caps, all eyes on the scanners. Let's see where traders decide to go. Let's have an awesome day. Let's have a fun day. And most importantly, let's lock in some profits, guys. Is AMD already dying? Wait for the bounce and the retest, right? Wait for the bounce. Look for the intraday retest at 75.33 and look to see what your price action looks like and then make your trade. If it has good price action, if you see a lot of upper shadows and it's properly retesting that level, that's what I would wait for. This may be a trade that we simply missed. The best entry was yesterday. We still have a good opportunity and a good trade for today, but again, we may not have a trade here because, yeah, the best one was yesterday at 78, 79 bucks. So let's see if we get something here on AMD, but I think Amazon still looks fantastic. So we're flipping Amazon now. We want to keep this one on watch over the first, couple of minutes here. Starting to crack below that 96.33. You could already be placing your short entries. Stops over high a day, guys. Right? If you're taking your short entries right at the crack, you want to put stop losses ideally over high a day at this point. If you're not in, right, you want to wait for the retest. Now, if you're in, you just made $1 a share. You had a 30-40 delta. You're absolutely spanking it on Amazon right now below 96.63. So there's a couple ways you could trade that. Get in right at the crack, scalp it on down, scale out, hold the rest at break even, or look for the crack and retest. The only thing with cracks and retests is sometimes you don't get a retest. So it's completely up to you how you want to trade it. I'm going to wait for the retest that we talked about this morning. Mr. G Gino, so hard to understand about options. Mr. G Gino, if you take some time today here on the channel, scroll down to the options playlist. We have like 4 lessons there. The ultimate options course, start there. Then go watch how to manage your risk to reward, right, with options. And then watch part 1, part 2 if you want to as well. There's going to be a lot of duplicate information. But if you want to learn how to trade options, you take the next 3 to 4 hours out of your day and you just focus on those lessons, you're going to be game changer. You're going to be like, yeah, that's actually really freaking easy. I've been overthinking it and overcomplicating it for a long time. I'm ready to start applying what I just learned in a simulated account and start to see some success. So again, I'm being really patient here. Some of the best trades for myself have come towards the end of the day, guys. And that's one thing. You may notice a slight transition on when I'm really focused on my personal trading when it comes to, say, options, especially because I'm still in the process of making that full-blown transition. And during that time, I like to be extremely focused and really just dialed in on my trades. So a lot of my trading lately has taken place in the afternoon, which is fantastic. So again, during this time, I'm all you, right? I can save my trading for the afternoon. If I find a trade and I want to take it, you know I'm going to take it. But don't think that by you asking a question and you needing help is going to take me away from any kind of trades. Because like I said, some of the best opportunities for myself have been really presenting themselves in the afternoon. I'm dialed in. I'm focused. I can make a few $100. I can make $700. It's fine. I'm here for you in the morning to help you guys make some money. Yeah, so TBLT, guys, the offering destroyed it. This is the offering, and it's crazy that like we just talked about it yesterday, right at pretty much lunch, end of the day, when someone asked, "Is it okay for a swing trade?" I'm like, it is from a technical perspective. I personally want to wait to see how it develops, right, post market and pre market, because I worry about a possible offering. So I'm gonna wait personally. I'm not gonna swing trade it, but from a technical perspective, it looks great. But you have to think, if there is an offering, can you stomach that? And that was one of the biggest reasons why I was not getting in yesterday and I was waiting for today. So that's a great learning, lesson is, being able to take everything and really just make a good decision based on the data and based on, the understanding that you have. So yeah, there's nothing but TBLT. Target, obviously, flashing some warnings here. So we had a massive drop there off their earnings, currently down 14%, guys, on Target. 14%. That's insane. It's almost down 50% year to date. That's crazy. Mr. G Gino, I'm sorry. What do you mean? Sorry? Do you pinpoint about the options video? Could you elaborate a little bit more? I'm not sure I really understand. AMD, still waiting for that ideal retest here to really get in on that. Oh, a link. Yeah, it's just on the Alpha channel, man. Yeah, so as soon as we drop the stream here in about 10 minutes, you're here on the Alpha Day Trading channel. Simply scroll down to the playlist that says options. And then all 4 of those options lessons are right there for you. INM. All right, let's go take a look at INM real quick. So we have a decent little press release this morning here on INM. All right, so if you're watching this one, INM, really low float stock. I mean, micro, underneath 1 million in float. Volume today is very light at 200,000, but we do have a press release here that was dropped right at 7 a.m. Now, these types of low float stocks are really risky because they could literally they can drop $1, quickly. They're micro float. I mean, this is under 1 million in float, extremely volatile stock, but it has room to 5. Right, there is some room to 5. And I kind of want to see what it does around yesterday's high a day. Like, can we actually see a nice break over yesterday's high a day and stay above yesterday's high a day? If so, that looks good. Look, you just got a decent little break here over yesterday's high a day. Like, I'd really like to see it stay above 369. If it can, I see a $4 break coming up to 5. Very, very low float stock. Up 35%. Penny stock traders are starting to get excited. Wow, we got a low float. The stock's up 40%. We have news, right? We have all this potential to 5. They're going to start rushing on in because the market's been so dead lately. So yeah, I like it above 369. As long as it holds, you're good for a $4 break and a rip and run, ideally up to $5. Can you use an options contract to protect you from a drop like that on TBLT? I mean, I don't recommend, even if TBLT was optionable, I don't recommend options on cheap stocks like that. Even if it were optionable, you know, you could technically get put contracts. I mean, Matt can maybe elaborate on that more, but you could potentially get put contracts to hedge against your long equities position. I'm sure there's a better strategy to do that if it was even optionable. But here's the thing. TBLT is not optionable. But I'm sure there's a strategy that's well-defined, you know, that if you have a long equity position, that you can hedge that with option contracts. But that's not something that I would really be able to elaborate on because that's not really something that I do. So again, the name of the game is patience. If you grabbed Amazon, you're just crushing it already. Congrats to you. I'm looking for a retest, and it may not happen. It may not happen. AMD, we may see it happen, and again, just waiting patiently. XOM, same thing. If we, it may set up today for us for that possible put or the possible short, so we shall see. And then the SPY here, not really too much to go off of within the first 10 minutes, right? Really not a lot to go off of here. So continuing to sit back and be patient here with the SPY. So a lot of my focus right now is solely on, you know, AMD, Amazon, and then XOM. So let's say me and MMAT, I would like to be willing to buy 100 shares at $1.40. So yeah, if you're looking to buy MMAT at $1.40, like if it comes down to $1.40, you want to buy it 100%. You could actually go in here and you could say, you know, you got to choose when, right? So that's the first thing is like, what's your strike? You know, what's your expiration? I'm sorry, what's your expiration going to be? So let's say that you think that MMAT in the next 30 days will be at 140. And if that happens within the next 30 days, MMAT's at 140, you're going to buy 100 shares. You're convicted, you're convinced, you're going to do that. I mean, I don't recommend it, but if you like the stock for your reasons, you do you. All right. So again, just to answer your question. So you would go in here and say you go 30 days out and you want to buy this at 140. So you would have to sell a 150. Right? So you're going to have to say, do you want to buy it at 150? Are you okay with that? 100 shares, right? 100 shares times $1.50. What is that? Is that $150? I think. Yeah. So, you know, yeah, you got to be okay with buying it at 150. So what you would do is you would come in here to MMAT, let's say 30 days out on the put contracts. You would actually sell, right? That 1.5, that $1.50 put contract that expires in 30 days. You would sell that and you would receive a credit of 17 cents or $17. You would receive $17 credit to your account, right? But your account would also put on hold $150. You have to reserve the equity, the cash that's going to be required, right, to purchase those 100 shares at $1.50 per share. So that would be set aside. You couldn't use it, right, because it's cash secured, but you would receive a $17 credit. So if MMAT comes down to 150, you get the email. You can choose to be assigned those shares at that point in time. And if that's the case, you take delivery of your 100 shares. But let's say MMAT doesn't come down to 140, 150 in the next 30 days, and it just kind of sits here at 190. right? What's the benefit? Well, you just collected a free $17 for basically doing nothing. So I think we may have something here on Amazon, guys. Check Amazon. I mean, I think the trade's like already here, but yeah, it's already done. The trade's already done. It's too late. It was right here off that rejection, or you had a quick little rejection there. But yeah, that one's already done. Let's take that out. Let's wait for a full-blown retest if we can get it. AMD didn't get close enough for me. User just sitting sideways. SPY is really just kind of flat right here as well. And the only thing really that we have on the SPY is this, maybe a slight uptrend you can start running here. Maybe. And then you got that. It's a really crappy downtrend. It's just too early in my opinion. You need a little bit more development. Oh, there's my TD freezing up on me again. That does not make me feel good. So is it just my TOS account, or is there no open interest on any put side contracts for tomorrow's expiration? Tomorrow's Thursday. So tomorrow's the first Thursday that we're even going to be having a Thursday expiration. So that would make sense that maybe there's no open interest here for tomorrow because it's a brand new options chain that I believe just opened this morning. So give it a week or two, right? Just play your 0 DTEs, right? Trade your 2 days out if you want, but I would say it's fresh. It's a brand new option that was just released. So I would say that's probably the reason why you're seeing 0 open interest, because I believe they just went live today. That's like a Matt question, right? That's definitely a Matt question for sure. I'm not sure. I can't really hit on that. I wish I could, but I'm not 100%. I can speculate and say, hey, right, why is there an anomaly, right? Well, the only thing that makes sense is there's never been a Thursday expiration ever, and now there is, and that's the only thing that I could really see that would make sense as to why the open interest is at 0. But you're right. It's very odd. Maybe it's just not updating. Maybe the exchanges are not calculating. Again, I have no idea. All right, guys, YouTube, enjoy your day. Again, hopefully you guys are prepared for today, that you enjoyed the session, and that you guys were able to take something from this as far as just getting prepared for the trading session, building your plans, and basically sitting back and waiting for the opportunity to present itself. My goal is to get you guys quick wins out of the gates. Today, I didn't have an opportunity to catch anything out of the gate, but maybe you did. Maybe you were able to catch Amazon, right? You had 2 trades, guys. Again, I miss a lot of my opportunities due to distractions. It is what it is, okay? You could have taken your put contracts right out of the gate and made money. You just got your retest to the penny. You are currently in and green on that trade, which is fantastic. So, Amazon, you had 2 trades back to back. I was waiting for the retest. Josh, why did you not take it? Well, because I'm closing down YouTube and I'm answering questions. That's why. All right. But I would absolutely be all over this trade right now at this point in time. But that's besides the point. I'll get my trades in here later today if we have any opportunity. All right. But Amazon, fantastic. Hopefully you guys were focused. That was your one stock for today. You got your entry and you guys are currently up in the green right now at this point in time, which is great. Stops are over 96.63. Like literally, your stop loss is break even. You can go ahead and take some profits here if you want and get paid, right? If you're all in and you like to scale out of your positions, you're scaling out right now and you're putting a stop at break even. You're getting paid. Good job. And you're going to let the rest run on down to fill that daily gap, all right? So Amazon, fantastic. AMD, you never got the retest. That was a challenging one. XOM, nothing yet. Like I said, the spine, the Qs out of the gate, just a little sideways and choppy, not too much there. But hey, Amazon worked out beautifully. Congratulations if you took it. Other than that, guys, pennies, we already knew that coming into the day that they were going to be pretty slow, pretty choppy, and not a lot of opportunity. So again, hopefully you guys gained some value and some education today. And again, hopefully you guys got a quick win as well. Enjoy your Wednesday. Happy safe trading over on YouTube, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning, guys. So $17 for every 150 you put on hold for the next 30 days sounds like a pretty good deal to me. But here's the deal, Steve. If you get assigned, right, you got to buy those shares. So here's the thing with MMAT, right? MMAT. Let's say like next week the stock's at 50 cents. Right? Let's say the stock's at 50 cents and you get assigned. You have one of two choices. You have to buy 100 shares, right? At $150 a piece, but they're only worth 50 cents, right? So you're going to spend $150 for those 100 shares, but they're only worth $50. So you're down $100. So basically you collected $17, but on that scenario, you're down $100. Now it doesn't really sound like a good deal, does it? So there's the other option that you'd have to rebuy those put contracts. But let's be honest. If this stock dumps down $1.50, those put contracts could be $3. They could be $2, right? Like you could definitely lose. So you have to be okay with buying those shares at that strike price if you get assigned, or be willing to pay more to rebuy those put contracts. So at first glance, it sounds like a good deal, right? Hey, I can do this 10 times, make one set. Well, are you okay with owning 1,000 shares at, say, $1.50 when the stock's worth 50 cents? Probably not, because you're down $1,000. The $170 just wasn't worth it on that scenario. And that's what we talk about all the time. Do not do cash secured puts unless you really, really like the stock. My first thing is I don't recommend it. But again, if you like the stock, you talk about it a lot, maybe you want to own it long term, then that's okay. Right? But I don't do it on stocks like this because I don't want to own MMAT. I don't know enough about MMAT personally.